Namaskar. It's truly a great honor and privilege to be here amongst this august audience. And I have to thank Professor Ashutosh Sharma ji. He has been one exceptional personality that I have met 1.5 years ago. And I have seen his dynamism through the initiatives he has taken. And I have seen today also the kind of diversity that he has brought into this conference, where it is content-driven because it is one of the top-notch institutions that we're talking about here. But besides being content-driven, there is also diversity. There is versatility of the people who have been speaking since morning. So I thank you, Ashutosh, for deeming me fit to be here in this conference. I am from Bharatiya Engineering, Science and Technology Innovation University. This innovation university is based out of Andhra Pradesh. It's a state private university of Andhra Pradesh. India has about 1,350 universities. We are one of them. There are deemed universities, there are private universities. We were formed by the Act of Legislation of the 2018 from the state of Andhra Pradesh. We're very near to the Bangalore International Airport. It's about 1 hour, 20 minutes from Bangalore International Airport, where we have a campus that is fully green. Just now, Professor Sitaraman was talking about a green campus. Ours is a completely green, zero carbon footprint, environment friendly campus. We have about 300 plus acres of land, where we work on sustainable food systems, indigenous conservation of seed varieties, building sustainability champions of tomorrow. Now, I personally feel that I just set a context in the next 10 minutes or 13 minutes on exactly what drove us to start this university. We are not from political background. I have a co-founder with me. He's an IAS officer, retired from Karnataka cadre. His name is Bharatlal Meena. Both of us founded this university in 2018. And we started working on it since 2016. What drove us? We are not from political background, neither are we, high class business people. We are normal people. I'm an academic. I have been into business, and he is an IAS officer. What drove us is the fact that we saw that education was being limited. Now, I'm not talking here about the 40 or 30 Ivy League institution of eminences. I'm speaking here in general about the issue, the gap that lies between what Professor Malshekar had shown in the morning, the India and the Bharat. This is what we stand up with. Education is of also very limited practical value unless it translates to social and economic value of a country. So what kind of education are we providing? A, there is parity that we saw. We saw there is a huge gap. There are 265 million children in school, but there are only 8 million graduates a year. Now that's the kind of gap we are looking at our gross enrollment ratio. The second issue that we saw was unemployment. All these students who are graduates, are they all employed? Are they contributing to the economic value of our country? No. So I think education is where we contribute meaningfully for a holistic personality, for good humans of tomorrow in layman words. And I think unless we involve grassroots innovations, people from the grassroots, this cannot be successful. So as an institution, what is my goal? What is my aim? Provide platforms. Enable. Two things. Universities today are uniquely positioned to do this, to bring in their traditional expertise, our Bharata's cultural legacy, our heritage, into the newer forms of education, which is integrated with technology, to create profound learner experiences. And that also which aligns to the future of work. This is critical. So there are three aspects here. A, stay grounded to your roots. Do not forget your cultural legacy. Two, learners and their experiences through merging with technology. It is inevitable. And third, that which aligns to the future of work. Now, we've always tried to shape global leaders, but with a very, very focused local mindset. PM Modi ji calls it globalization. And we've always truly focused on shaping good humans, change makers, and builders for tomorrow. Not just academically sound individuals, but leaders who can navigate complex challenges through sheer courage, grit, purpose, and wisdom. These cannot be taught in classes. These are skill sets that have to be imbibed in a very different environment, and that is what we provide at B.E.S.T. Now, innovation for us is not just about profits. It is extremely critical. Invention, regeneration is critical. But what do we do today? When we call it innovation, it's quick fixes. What we do is intervention, not regeneration. I'm talking in general, not in particular about any institution or any particular agency. So, while we are trying our best to regenerate, while we are trying our best to fix our problems of today, these very quick fixes are going to be the problems of tomorrow. And that, according to us, is not innovation. So we decided our vision is to design a decade. Because for me, leadership is not for now. Innovation is not for now. It's for a decade. So we said, okay, we take time up to 2028. We will design a decade with the youth who join us along. Now, there is a very interesting pattern that emerged from our stakeholders, because you cannot really run an enterprise without understanding your stakeholders. So when I looked at my stakeholders, there were exactly 4 who sat into the compartment or the bracket of what stakeholder means for a university or for an educational institution. Of course, first and foremost was the youth. Young people no longer want just jobs. I'm sure every one of you here agree to what I'm saying. They are looking for meaning, they are looking for purpose. Are we able to define that for them? Second, governments. I know several government agencies, they are not looking for handshakes anymore. What they are looking for is systems that scale from universities. Third, organizations. We cannot survive without industry. What do organizations need? They no longer seek profit alone. All organizations, I heard Suri speaking right now. We've had other, the GCC speaking about how they are making interventions that are making difference to the communities, to the real people, to the real world. So organizations don't seek profit alone. They are now pursuing purpose, they are pursuing impact, and they are also pursuing resilience. So the world is now drifting towards the new era, which we are also going to speak about tomorrow morning. But in every corner of the globe, because I travel avidly, I see this shift. And especially for a country like India, we cannot look forward without looking backwards. We need to see the future through the lenses of our past. Otherwise, as a nation, we will not be able to define our next decade. So, at B.E.S.T, we decided our mantra is co-creating global impact and designing the decade. Now, this journey cannot be walked in isolation, and therefore, we have partnerships, we have stakeholders who are essential to move forward. One of my partners is already sitting here. We call ourselves an innovation university. Professor Ranade is here. He is from National Innovation Foundation, and Best Innovation University has a collaboration with NIF. And we're doing some real grassroots level innovation. While I'm speaking with you here, there is a 3-day conference happening at the university where also Arvindji was supposed to be there. I was supposed to be there. It's a 3-day conference which is only about grassroots innovations. And how do we try and document these innovations? How do we scale these innovations? How do we commercialize these innovations? So I think this is one aspect that we have concentrated very much on, which is being local, having a global mindset, building students who will be, who are for the world that we are entering and not the one that we left behind. We work with more than 43 villages around the university, and we also ensure that there are, the supply chain is worked for them in the agricultural sector, primarily focusing on agriculture, agri-tech, and sustainable food systems. The university has also diversified into several different areas. Very unique program that we are launching is on global leadership, where we are ensuring that it is so immersive. The students are going to go to about 11 countries and working with 6 institutions top-notch. So we have tried to build an ecosystem where we have industry, where we have government, where we have the local stakeholders, which is the community, and we facilitate seamlessly this platform where they can engage. And this is where the university puts in efforts. I personally believe that university was a very old concept where we looked at a subject with a unilateral view, university, bird's eye view. While that is important, today we have diversified into becoming multi-varsities. Now what's a multi-varsity? It's borderless talent. One of my faculty, the one who heads the tech, is Professor Mohan. He's from the Singapore University of Tech and Design. He's also an entrepreneur. He has the 3rd largest robotic company in the world. I also have Professor Budi, who is from NTU. So it's borderless talent. We don't no longer look at faculties who are joining and where is the location, how do you do it, it's all gig. The second is transdisciplinary studies. Professor Dr. Vijay Chotaiwalaji spoke about this today, how NEP has prompted institutions to go all interdisciplinary. That is the way forward, and that is what Bharata and other institutions were all about much before we became what we are. So this is something that we've been doing. Therefore, we are multi-varsity right now. We have a huge thrust on tech. We have a huge thrust on internationalization. But what is the future? The future is about omni-varsities. Today, this gap cannot be filled by just best talent. And omni-varsity will be present, omnipresent. I carry the university with me. I decide when I have to write the INSA, when I will be assessed. I decide when I have to read. I decide when I have to upskill. That's the kind of flexibility that we are looking at. And omni-varsity. It's all about building ecosystem in omni-varsity. It's all about making the change makers who will be resilient enough with inner as well as outer engineering, like Professor Ashutoshji always mentioned. And they are ready to face the new world. Well, in the heart of it, we aim at empowering our learners to navigate the complexities of a trend-driven world with wisdom, with compassion, with progression, and understanding of their own humanity that stems from their culture, that comes in as a pride from where they belong. The deep-rooted values that we call. So this is what we aim at. This shift is crucial. So I leave you with this, and I have exactly 2 minutes to wind up. As the Chancellor of this university, or as whatever positions we hold, one day our titles of CEO, CFO, or whatever we have, top-notch chairman, scientist, I think you all know is going to be just a footnote. What we leave behind is a legacy. They will live far beyond us and the systems that we shaped during our lifetime, the values we embody, the values we try to embody with others, try to showcase to others, and the futures that we enable. And in this age of VUCA, AI, disruptions, climate change, environmental hazard, I think all we influencers sitting in this room come with a new kind of responsibility. And this new kind of responsibility, here is the beauty. We don't have to do much here. We don't have to build everything ourselves. It's as easy as trying to enable. Enable with whatever you can. And that's what we are doing in our university. Enabled through capital, which I heard today through GCC, enabled through capital, enabled through ideas. We are to be speaking about such wonderful ideas, enabled through infrastructure, or enabled through just belief. We can enable. And lastly, I welcome all of you. I have 40 seconds. I welcome all of you to my university. It will be wonderful to collaborate with the ones who can engage in our mission. Thank you very much.